Hi, this is Kevin Punny DeCamp.
And I'm Trevor Knock Knock Dow.
And this is VTV,
the definitive podcast for all things LGBT travel,
pop culture,
and where we share diverse perspectives from members within our community. Hey, Kev.
Hi, Trevor.
I feel like we need a good old laugh.
A lot of them.
How many?
As many as this episode can provide me.
Well, I think you're in luck then, because on this episode today, we are talking to James Tom, who is a trans comedian that we had on our Mexico resort trip. So during the interview, you might hear James refer to themselves, and we might refer to James by their old name. But since that interview, James has changed their name to James Tom. So I just want to make sure that that's very clear, at least at the beginning of the episode, so that when you're watching the interview, you don't get too confused.
And this episode is messy literally because at the end, we play a game and I kind of
blacked out during that game?
Yeah. And it's messy in a fun way, just like the topics we discuss are kind of messy in a fun way. Warning, because it might be triggering to some people, like some of these terms, but made light of. And I like that about James, is that they are not afraid to go in different places because their experience is of that. They go in so many different places, and they also are very adventurous. Fire Island comes up. In
a way that I was not prepared for. We talk about representation and inclusion a lot, and I think that there's a lot of emphasis on guests when we talk about that. And having that representation within our entertainers has also been a very vital and important part of Vakaya. And I think that James is a really fun example of having someone that I think kind of breaks some barriers and maybe will make you uncomfortable at times, but if we're not uncomfortable, then we're not growing and we're not learning.
I like that for myself because I'm just ooh, and I feel that uncomfortable ability that I'm oh, what was that? And then that is a conversation internally where I'm oh, why did I feel that way? Oh, am I insecure about something? Or is there a valid reason for me to feel this way? Mm-hmm. I feel like this is an episode of growth potential.
Oh, baby, I grew during this episode for sure. James, I'm just using this podcast as a way to try to get people to
all the entertainers.
Yeah, to be hey, do you want to go on a date?
And guests, yeah. I'm so lonely. All right, let's get into our interview with comedian James Tom.
Hi, everyone. It is Trevor and
Kevin.
And we are joined today by a very special guest, a comedian extraordinaire and a Vakaya virgin, Jess Tom.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Are you kidding? Thanks for being here.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here.
We like to make sure that the viewers and listeners know pronouns, how you identify, and just a little bit about yourself.
Totally. I am first and foremost a comedian, unfortunately. I guess my pronouns are he and they, and I guess I'm a trans fag for all intents and purposes. Am I allowed to say that?
100%.
Okay, wonderful. Then that's what it is.
Well, what do you think about the word queer?
God, this is actually kind of a deep question to start us off on.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to VTV.
I kind of come from the school of early 10s queerness, where I think queer, it's number one, a useful umbrella term, and it's easy and it's one syllable. Which you can't say about LGBTQIA+.
Yes. Right.
I come from a real school of thought that is queer is a way of doing things. You know, if we're queering society, we're queering the way, people are paid for things. You know, it's to do something actively to change the world for the better place, which I don't think is the way people are using it mostly these days.
I think people are using it as an umbrella term, like you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's so fast and easy to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that queerness is doing something.
Only asking that because I think some of the older generation feel that it came from a slang.
Totally.
That was insulting, but now it seems like it's being rebranded.
Totally.
By the 2010 generation.
I feel there are kind of cycles of that because it's okay, so is faggot, so is dyke.
Right.
Or sissy, or any of these. Honestly, almost any of the words that we use to identify ourselves. And then sort of for the generation that's younger than me, I find a lot of those people like don't like reclaiming slurs. Like they don't like to be like called a slur.
Yeah.
So they kind of, that's where you get like sapphic and like people kind of making their own generation of terms. So it's interesting the way
really?
like culture cycles.
What's sapphic?
Sapphic is like lesbians, like women who love women.
Oh,
like Love Lies Bleeding was like a sapphic love story-ish.
Which, to be clear, in Love Lies Bleeding, they were definitely dykes. But you can be anything. But
you heard it here first.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's my political take of the day. But yeah, it's interesting to see how culture cycles like that.
Well, it's the same with even being able to like even checking in with using the word fag. Like it's one of those words that is. I just saw like I think it was like Troye Sivan, like Charlie XCX like posted a screenshot where Troy was like, look, like you can use the word
you can
fag
say it,
or whatever. And it's like a little controversial like take of like, because Charlie XCX is as close to like gay culture as you can be as not being actually part of it, but like
100%.
being such a zeitgeist. So like the word fag, speaking of older generation too, it's like here on Vakaya, we have such like a spectrum of ages
and cultures,
that
and it means something different to different people because it's come into their lives in different ways.
Yes.
And so I totally understand, like, when people are like, they're like, I don't want to be called that. I'm like, yes, I totally get that.
When it comes to comedy, like your show last night was, I loved it. And
thank you.
To me, it was exciting to have a voice that feels relative to like our generation. And like when you go into these kind of settings or even different shows, are you usually like set with like, okay, well, this is the set I'm going to do no matter like who my audience is? Or do you have to kind of like code switch, for the lack of a better word, of
No, totally. It is code switching. And actually, I've been thinking about this a lot since last night.
Interesting.
Because I had 2 shows. The first show, I really was like, okay, like, let's figure out who's in the room and like how I can talk to them and how I can best connect with them. It was actually for me the first time I've done like a full hour to an audience that was mostly cis gay men.
Really?
And I had to learn a lot between the first one and the second one of like how I was going to approach basically the exact same material.
Yeah.
But kind of presented in a different way depending on who the audience is.
Yeah. And was that a fun challenge, or was that like a challenge that you weren't expecting?
It's fun. I think as a comedian, you're always like, that's always the challenge, because every time the room is going to be different people.
Yeah.
And like comedy is really like live. It like lives and dies in the room. And it really just depends on who was there sharing the space with you. But then especially when you're doing like stuff that I'm talking about, which is about like identity and like moving through lesbian space versus moving through gay space, it hits really differently depending on who's the person listening to it.
Yes.
And I've done that material for lesbians and trans people, and I've done it for straight people also. And I have to find new ways to be like, this is how we're going to talk about the exact same thing.
Do you find straight audiences tend to be like, oh, can I laugh at this? Or are they...
Actually, sometimes straight audiences are looser and easier because they just don't have the self-awareness.
Sure.
Whereas like sometimes queer audiences are like, ugh, like they feel a little sensitive and they feel a little afraid, and rightfully so, because they're used to getting made fun of when somebody's on stage, and so they're a little on edge, and I kind of have to be like, no, it's okay, like everything's safe, and like I am gonna make fun of you, but I'm making fun of us,
right?
Like it's
We're
all of us
one
together.
Comedy is like in many ways community.
Yeah, I mean, it's really powerful to gather a group of people in laughter about something. And then I think that's why, it hurts people so bad when like somebody is doing like a transphobic joke or something, homophobic joke, and then everybody in the room laughs along with them, because it's not just the one person on stage.
Yeah.
So I'm trying always to kind of do the opposite, to give like us something to laugh about together.
Well, and at the end of the day, like if we can't laugh at ourselves, or I guess find the comedy out of the trauma, then like we're going to just be buried in it.
No, absolutely. And how could we not? How could we not find the comedy in
our current world?
Just, yes. It's the only way. The only way to make it through.
Yeah.
We are recording this on Halloween.
Yes.
And I love this Boy Scout vibe.
Oh, yes.
Would you wear this on a normal day?
No, this is costume vibes. This
I
was
like it though
Thank
as a
you.
normal wear.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually a Girl Scout, like all the way through when I was a teenager until I was 18. So this is sort of my
reclaiming
moment.
Redefining it.
That's fun.
And also for your show last night, you had the like jeans shorts is that like a trademark
jorts?
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hot.
The saggy jeans. Thank you.
It's the whole time you were on stage, I was kind of like,
Thank you. I mean, I'm also always, especially for a gay audience,
you'll give a little cheek.
Yeah, I'm giving a little cheek, and I'm giving a little like, this is what's happening here. If anybody wants to know.
Yes.
Well, I mean, in a lot of ways, I got kind of a head start on any kind of queer life. I'm from San Francisco.
Okay.
So I had a lot of exposure. Like,
Nice.
I've always known what trans people are. I've always known gay people. I've always had like gay teachers and stuff. So I'm very like spoiled in a lot of ways. I started identifying as a lesbian like really young, 13 or 14.
Wow.
And then that led me eventually to Smith College, which I don't know. Do you know Smith College? Okay, Smith College, it's in Massachusetts. It's like the lesbian college. Some of you will know this.
Okay.
Like literally, like it's in Northampton, Massachusetts, which is the city with the highest number of lesbians per capita.
What is attracting the lesbians to the city?
It's a women's college, a historic women's college.
Oh,
but it's
that
not
helps.
even of all the women's colleges. This one is like the lesbian college.
Okay.
And so we also there were a little at the forefront of a lot of these identities. I say historic women's college because there were trans men there. The house president of my house when I moved in was a trans man. So like very quickly, I was interacting with all kinds of different people and all kinds of different ideas and meeting my first people who identified as non-binary and went by they pronouns and, you know, were named Tree and Beans, which they were. That's true. That's not a joke. And we honor
that
them
was their
for that.
like legal name.
Maybe not legal at that time, but yeah.
Well, I love a tree and I love a bean. So.
Exactly. Great concepts.
So being in that
really
environment
kind
of like then helped.
Yeah.
You feel at ease to
and
like
it was
explore.
a safe place where you could be like, I'm changing my name or I'm changing my
And they're
pronouns.
like, cool.
Yeah. And everybody would be like, okay. Like the professors would be like, okay. Yeah. But it was interesting because of that, it means that I didn't start interfacing with like cis gay community until kind of later.
Sure. Was that an interesting, difficult, I would say reintroduction since you grew up in San Francisco as like kind of
because I was always around.
Yeah.
I was definitely always around, and my best friend growing up now she's a trans woman, but at the time she was a gay boy. So we kind of switched places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is maybe part of why you guys were just drawn to each other at such a young age,
yeah,
you know?
and we're still best friends, and I'm like, now you're my fag hag? Like, what? What's happening? What's crazy is I took to faggotry like a fish in water, and it actually was a lot easier for me. And I had spent so much time in lesbian spaces because I had chosen to be there.
Yeah.
Nobody forced me to do that. I wanted to go. And then once I started being more in the gay world, which was more like 3-4 years ago,
Wow.
I was like, oh, this is actually easier for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But in my gay world, you mean like what?
Like
Gay men?
clubs or
Yeah, gay men.
Gay boys?
And clubs and cruising and Grindr
fun.
and Fire Island and, you know, the things that gay guys
do.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I love that.
It's and was that something it doesn't seem like that was something you were expecting.
No, I was surprised. Because I was like again, I identified as like non-binary for most of my like quote unquote lesbian years. So
Sure.
I wasn't really like a hardcore cis lesbian
Right.
ever, really. But when it happened, I It was crazy. It was like all of these kind of stereotypes of trans people, you know, where you're like, oh, like I did this thing and suddenly it made sense. I was like, that'll never happen to me. And then suddenly I was like, oh, like
wow.
I only listen to 2000s Kylie Minogue. Oh, like lesbians don't like Kylie Minogue. Like all of these things that I had kind of conceptualized in my head as lesbian things, actually graphed a lot to gay guys, like loving Maleficent.
He was Maleficent for Halloween.
Naturally.
Maleficent.
House of Horror. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question that goes along with being an outsider, because I feel like being an outsider, from my experience as a gay cis man, I'm able to assess culture in a way that feels like an outsider looking in. I can digest kind of like scenarios maybe in a different way. Has transitioning or considering yourself non-binary given you a different perspective in that way? Because I feel like that must give you a lot of information of culture by seeing it through your lens.
It feels very anthropological.
Oh, great word.
And I feel like...
Do you know what that means?
No, I have no idea what that means.
Because I don't think he knows what that means.
No. Okay, now you're testing me, because I'm like, you've asked me what a word I said
means.
What
that means?
No, but the definition here.
Anthropological, from anthropology, the study of people and the study of culture.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
And I feel like this comes through a lot in my comedy. Being like, lesbian spaces are like this, gay spaces are like this. I don't know what straight people do. I've never been there.
Well, that was your show. It was funny, and then it was also like, wow, I'm getting to like understand and listen to someone who's had. I wrote this down. The Hannah Montana experience of sex, where you've experienced the best of both worlds.
Does that hit really hard?
Yes, I'm
like you're kind of like the Hannah Montana of gay sex.
Oh my god!
Like I'm
gonna take that.
Please.
I want to be the Hannah Montana of gay
sex. That's gonna be the title of this episode: interviewing the Hannah Montana of queer sex.
That is a great title. I imagine that seeing how we culturally generally perceive feminine and masculine things are probably heightened when you are kind of like expressing yourself in a different way than you were expressing yourself.
Totally. I mean, it's crazy because I'm almost always going in the opposite direction of culture because I'm different. In transitioning, I became a lot more feminine, which a lot of trans men say, just because, you know, we tend to feel just more comfortable with ourselves. And so we're like, okay, I don't have to like peacock masculinity all the time. I don't have to like wear a big fitted cap and like Tim's and be like acting like I'm like really masculine when I'm not. Like, I'm not. And that was also a thing that like never really made sense to me when I was moving as kind of like a butch lesbian, because I was like, I'm not that butch. I can't. Don't ask me for help. I can't help you. And now I'm a stupid twink, and I don't have to do anything at all. I'm done.
You just want to lay there.
Yes, I relinquish the responsibility.
Yes,
you do it. It's your job now. You help me.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
No, okay, so yeah, you're able to see some nuances then, it sounds like. You're like you said, you're not a Timberland ball cap wearing dude, you're a eccentric, cute Boy Scout boy.
A Boy Scout boy with my underwear showing.
Well, it's also kind of funny because in my mind, in like the gay world, I go, oh, well, big ball cap and Timberlands is like more of like a lesbian.
Yeah. Definitely.
Wow.
I mean, that's what I was doing. I mean, yeah, that's what I was doing like 10 years ago.
Because you're like, right. And that's like trying to find whatever the idea of actual masculinity is. Yeah. But instead it's like, okay, well now you've transitioned and I
can wear a crop top.
Yes. And you should. Like, my goodness.
Crop top.
And that's kind of the beauty of getting to play in these spaces and hopefully like being in environments like, had you ever done any sort of LGBT travel or vacation or anything before? I
mean, I've before this.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to Fire Island.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fire
you
Island
talked about that on the show.
Yeah. And Fire Island I love, which makes me feel like I'm an evil person.
Okay, well, in your show last night, it's funny because you mentioned Fire Island versus P-Town, and it seemed like it was more of a P-Town crowd.
It was a P-Town crowd. It's a P-Town crowd here.
Oh, so it was controversial.
Yes.
No, it was. Everybody like got a little tight when I said Fire Island, and I was like, oh, how interesting.
Take
but
a whiff
Fire
of those
Island is a
poppers and
toxic
loosen
place, so I was like, sure. I understand. Like, it's totally toxic. And I was like, these are nice people. Like, these are like wonderful, nice people that I've met here.
Yeah.
Yes, I was like, not a single one of them is G'd out right now. So like, they don't
know Fire Island.
They don't want to be on Fire Island.
Yeah.
Fire Island is an evil place for evil people. And
Like
I thrive there. No, I thrive. I swim like a fish.
Was that a place that you enjoyed for like since becoming or like more identifying as non-binary, or is this
Fire
like
Island,
since transitioning you're like
Fire Island kind of was the thing that broke me open.
Really?
Yeah. Like I had already, at the time that I went to Fire Island for the first time, it was like 2 years ago, maybe. And I had already been, I was a couple years into my medical transition. I had already been a little branching out and like hooking up with different people and, meeting guys off Grindr and stuff a little bit. But then I went to Fire Island and found myself in a surprise group sex situation.
Ooh.
in a fun way. It just felt so like natural to me that I was like, like, I guess this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Because it felt right.
Yeah, it felt right. Just, yeah.
And that was the first of many since.
Exactly. As I was like going from one guy's dick to another and like wiping tears out of my eyes.
Of joy?
Choking.
Yeah, of choking.
Yeah. I tear easily. I'm very wet.
What's the difference, really?
Exactly. And I was like, I guess this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Because I had been, I went to Smith College. I had been solicited to threesomes before. And I like didn't do it. Like something about it like intimidated me or scared me. So I always kind of talked my way out of it. And then later would be like, why did I like not do that? And then this was so, I wasn't even expecting it and it just suddenly started happening. And I was like, I feel totally comfortable with this. That I was like,
Oh, do you just find yourself now? Or do you feel like you seek out these group sex scenarios?
I mean, now I just try to be open and available to whatever comes my way.
Well, after spending the majority of your life not being able to do that, it's deserved, like it should. And I think what's interesting about that idea of what you were just talking about being at Smith College and like having these opportunities presented, it is just from a listening standpoint, it feels very evident that when it comes to sex, there's still such a stigma for women to just be like, we just want to like
definitely
have a good time. And
definitely
what's interesting is like here at Vakaya, we have like a red light district, which is like a safe sex space. And that space is for all.
Totally.
And we've started to have more women and trans and non-binary people come and occupy those spaces. And there was a little bit of like a learning curve for our gay cis men who are in those spaces.
Also the sex culture is completely different.
Yes.
It's totally different. And that's a really interesting thing to navigate. Like sex and consent culture is like almost the exact opposite.
Yes.
Or it can be. Consensual, non-consensual, you mean?
Yeah, I feel like there's a sex writer, Zachary Zane.
Oh yeah, we've interviewed him.
Yeah. We love Zachary Zane.
He's in Brooklyn. Aren't you based in Brooklyn?
Yeah, and actually we met on Fire Island.
Oh no way.
Oh cool.
Yeah, he found me at the underwear party and was like, "Are you Jess Tom?" And I was like, "Oh God, I wasn't expecting anyone to see me here." Like
as you're taking dicks out of your
exactly. I was like, "No, don't make me public figure Jess Tom right now. I'm nobody. I'm just a hole."
And you were mic'd up and it was being
exactly. He used a term once for like gay men's sex spaces. He said opt-out consent, which is like, okay, you guys are doing stuff and then somebody does something you don't like, you're like, hey, I'm not that into that, and they're like, okay, like, and then they stop. That's like almost the total opposite. I feel like a lot of like lesbians and like queers and like trans people use more enthusiastic consent, which can I do this before you do it?
Wow.
And then they say
great
yes,
point.
and then you do it. So it's like a completely different sex culture. So it gets interesting
That's a
once
great
you like
point.
once you mix.
Wow.
That is a
Yeah.
great point. I'm going to marinate on that for a while.
Yeah. Also, gays have not a great concept of consent. Sorry. No, sorry.
Well, and that's honestly that
Sorry.
is part of why this podcast
But
was.
isn't that men in general?
100%.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
and crazy things happen when you put all men together. Right?
Yes.
Insane things happen.
Well, and that's even
Horny
been part
men.
of the like red light district kind of like evolution is like, what? How do we operate and make sure that consent is at the forefront, especially when we have not just gay cis men
Totally.
in those spaces?
And it is like code switching. It's like people speaking different languages, but all in the same place to talk to each other.
Yes.
And that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's what's the word?
Anthropological.
Yeah.
Anthropological.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's an answer to this. This is just like the thing we're working on right now, like in general, is how to integrate all of these kind of disparate parts of our community that operate really differently and have our own totally different subcultures and make it so that we like understand each other and like can spend time and enjoy time with each other instead of kind of self-segregating.
Yeah, exactly. And I hope that's what Vakaya does well.
Oh, it's been awesome. I feel like everybody, I mean, the thing that has really set apart this trip from other places like Fire Island or P-Town, which I love, is everybody here has been so nice.
Good.
Like, it's been so easy to make friends, and everybody is just like, hi, like, what's your name? Where are you from? Which, I'll be real with you, doesn't feel that common with me among, like, gay men. Like, in other places.
It's such a shame because
Well, what's
so
the
much
setting
more
that you're describing? Like is the
Fire
setting
Island
like
or like a-
oh yeah, I
Or
see what you're
anywhere,
saying.
like
Okay.
anywhere in a gay scene, which can be a little cliquey. Or I mean, I live in New York, so like that's a really particular type of gay scene, and really particular types of gay men. And like of all the places in the world to be cliquey, New York City is where it's going to happen.
Interesting, right?
But I feel like it's a stereotype, but there's always some truth to the stereotype. And here I've been like, oh my god, everybody is like literally nice, and it's awesome.
Yeah, good. I'm so glad that's your experience.
And the hope is that everybody that comes here goes back home and then carries that mentality, you know, like so that because it doesn't and it shouldn't be that way. And in some ways I understand that like we're protective over
Totally.
And I feel like you even kind of talked about that in your show last night of the like L and the G and the B and the T and the I, and you know, like, but it is one of those things where there's so much more in common than there is, especially in the political climate right now.
Yeah, and
It's
we all
like-
have to be in it together.
Yeah, and by in it together, we mean group sex.
Group sex.
Speaking of group sex, should we play the game?
Sure.
Not that the game is like a group sex. You said you were a sub
No,
bottom,
put
right?
your pants back on.
Slow
stop.
zoom. Yeah. Welcome to Are You Yolking Me? The game where just Tom is going to decide who sucks.
Oh,
Whose
I know
jokes?
who sucks. But I...
True.
We all, well, I love to be. All right.
Okay, Trevor, what's the first round of jokes we have to?
The first round of jokes is a Yo Mama joke, a classic Yo Mama joke.
Okay.
Should I go first this
You go
round?
first,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll go first this round.
Oh boy.
Yo Mama is so stupid. She stuck a battery up her butt and started singing, I got the power. Huh? Kevin?
Okay.
I feel like mine was flops.
Yo mama's so dumb, she DJs for the ice cream truck.
What?
It's hard because I just, you're not prepared.
You're so right.
You prepared the material.
I've been saying yo mama jokes for so long, I can't believe I'm so ashamed of myself.
That one worked on a couple of levels. And yeah, exactly. This is why you prep beforehand.
Thank you. Okay.
At least a half hour.
This is what happens if you don't douche, Kevin.
Exactly.
I need to learn.
Okay, the next round is knock jokes. Okay, Kevin, you have to go first this
Why?
round. Because I went first the last round. That's not fair that I have to keep going first.
Okay. You just give me 1 second.
Actually, I want to see how.
He's pretty egged. This is sick.
This is what being a gay man is all about.
Are you ready for my knock joke? Okay, this is my best one. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
An owl.
An owl who?
You're literally an owl.
Ugh. Okay.
What?
Okay, yeah.
Horrifying. Okay. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Goblin.
Goblin who?
Goblin up all your Halloween candy. Way, that is worse than whatever that was.
The first one has a little wordplay. A little word.
Thank
Well,
you.
yours had
Thank
wordplay
you.
too, but this one plays on the form.
Yeah.
Yeah, it plays on the form of the joke.
Really not the, what's the
Oh
other
yes,
part that's not a yoke?
The alblumen.
Yeah, it really reminds you of a...
It reminds me of something.
Yeah, wow.
Everybody's always just trying to get me to egg them.
It reminds me of E. coli. Okay, next.
God.
Okay, last round, final round is just
Best 2 out of
your
3.
best joke. We both have been yoked, so now it's...
Okay, I'll go first because mine's a little story.
Oh, God.
Okay, great.
Okay. The teacher asks a class of students a question. They say, give me a definition of the word definitely. Johnny, give me a sentence with definitely in it. And Johnny says, are farts bumpy? The teacher says, no. And he goes, then I definitely my pants. Trevor, your turn.
Well, you didn't write that though, did you?
My grandpa did. I remember him telling me that when I was in 2nd grade.
Okay,
I
I'll
feel like now you're
consider
trying to
this
get the
legacy
sympathy
joke.
vote by
Okay,
mentioning
thank
that
you.
your grandfather
It's a
wrote this joke.
It's a heritage joke.
It's a heritage
It was
right.
passed down.
Okay, well,
Trevor, your turn.
mine is also a heritage joke. What do you
Great.
call a cow with no legs?
What?
Ground beef.
Oh no! My grandpa would be so sad. For a lot of reasons.
Oh, you've never looked better, Kevin.
I get the feeling that some of this doesn't look too unfamiliar.
Yeah, I feel like you just look like you came from the red light district.
Well, who won? You did, actually.
I won.
Oh no, I just got you on your arm.
Oh no, you were waiting to do that.
I
Yeah.
was. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
on
you
the
so much
podcast
for
today.
having me. I can't wait to wash my hands.
See y'all later.
Bye.
I will say this, like, I do find stand-up comedy in the forms of performative arts to be one of the hardest things.
Oh, yeah.
It's so vulnerable to just subject yourself to trying to be funny and to make people laugh and to try to brighten their day and potentially only be met with like blank stares.
Yeah, and that was my joke that I made on the game.
What, that you were just met with blank stares?
And an egg on the head.
You've never looked better, I will say that. Also, I think egg is really good for your hair. I mean, look at your hair now.
Yeah, I think this is something holistic.
It's definitely holistic. Baby, the jokes, they write themselves. Would you ever do stand-up?
I would love to do some type of performance. It would
perform
have
all
to
the
be, it'd have to involve other things because, like, it's too much pressure to just do just jokes.
So you would do a one-man show, but not necessarily
Yes.
stand-up.
Yeah.
Well, let us know in the comments below if you would love to see Kevin's one-man show.
Would you ever do a stand-up? I feel like
know
people
if
would be concerned.
I think people are already concerned. I don't know if I would do stand-up, but I like hosting. So, I mean, in a way, I guess that's stand-up, but like I like hosting.
Yeah.
I like knowing
You
that
like telling people what to do.
Exactly. Dom top. Well, thank you so much for joking around with me.
I love holding space.
I definitely hope that you'll hold my space.
.com.
Make sure to check out my new OnlyFans website at holdmyspace.com and check out Kevin's website at holisticmedicine.com.
We'll see you on the next episode of VTV.
Bye, y'all.